From a pile of rusted broken parts to a masterpiece that will leave you speechless. Today, we're bringing a forgotten truck back to life. Are you ready to see the transformation? Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Today's challenge is a big one. This vintage die-cast truck has been through decades of neglect. Every inch of it is covered in rust, the paint is peeling off, and some parts are barely holding together. Our mission? To restore it to better than new condition, and maybe even give it a second life it truly deserves. Let's take a closer look. The wheels are completely seized up due to thick rust. The cabin is corroded, the windows are cracked, and the metal body feels fragile in my hands. If I had to rate its current condition, I'd say it's at about 10% of what it once was. Here's the plan. Complete disassembly of every single part, rust removal and deep cleaning, repair or rebuild missing pieces, fresh paint job, and finally, the reassembly into something stunning. We'll start by carefully taking it apart. Every screw, axle, and tiny panel needs to be separated without damaging the original metal. This is where patience is key. One wrong move and you can snap a rare piece that can't be replaced. Once disassembled, all the parts are laid out in front of you, just like a crime scene waiting for investigation. Now for the dirty work. The rust is so stubborn that regular sanding won't do. We'll soak the parts in a rust removal solution. After a few hours, I scrub them with a small wire brush to reveal the clean metal underneath. Side by side, the difference is already shocking, from brown and flaky to smooth and silver. Now, for the most satisfying part, cleaning. I start by rinsing every piece under a stream of clean water, washing away decades of dirt, dust, and loose rust. The water instantly turns brown as years of grime are lifted off. Next, I soak the pieces in a rust removal solution to break down the stubborn corrosion. After soaking, I scrub them carefully with a wire brush, watching as the dull, rough surfaces reveal smooth, solid metal underneath. For the smaller parts, I use a soft toothbrush in soapy warm water, making sure every corner and tiny groove is spotless. When the final rinse is done, I dry each piece with a microfiber cloth to prevent any new rust from forming. It's like seeing the toy truck breathe for the first time in decades. I take a fine grit sandpaper and begin working over the metal surface, gently removing any leftover corrosion and smoothing out rough edges. Now that the surface is perfectly smooth, it's time to bring this truck back to life with color. I start with a thin coat of primer, making sure every corner and edge is covered. This not only helps the paint stick better, but also protects the metal from rust in the future. Once the primer is dry, I move on to the color coat. For this restoration, I've chosen a bold, factory-accurate shade, rich, glossy, and full of character. Using slow, even passes with the spray gun, the dull, bare metal is instantly transformed. The paint flows over the surface like liquid glass, hiding years of scars while highlighting every curve and detail. After 2 color coats, I apply a final layer of clear. Coat to seal in the shine and give it that showroom finish. Under the light, the color pops beautifully. It's hard to believe this was once a pile of rusted parts. With the paint fully cured, it's time for the most satisfying step, bringing all the pieces back together. I start with the chassis, carefully aligning the freshly painted body panels so the new finish doesn't get scratched. Each screw is tightened slowly, making sure every part sits perfectly in place. Next, I install the axles and wheels, feeling them spin smoothly for the first time in decades. The windows slide neatly into the cabin, their clear shine completing the look. Small details like the headlights, bumpers, and decals are fitted one by one, each click and snap adding to the sense of progress. Piece by piece, the truck comes back to life. What was once scattered metal parts on my workbench is now a complete, gleaming toy truck, restored to a beauty it hasn't seen since the day it left the factory. And here it is, the restored beauty in all its glory. From a forgotten piece of rust to a fully revived classic, this toy truck is proof that no matter how far gone something seems, it can always be brought back to life. If you enjoyed this restoration journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these projects alive. And stay tuned in our next video. We'll be taking on an even bigger challenge, restoring a rare RC car that's been abandoned for over 20 years. You won't want to miss it.